Hey, what's up guys? Nino here. So today I want to talk about some simple light effects. Now, I will say up front that plugins for lighting effects, especially like the glowing effect looks, exist and are amazing. Boris FX Optics is fantastic. Oniric is absolutely amazing. Both fantastic plugins for light effects and more. I'm going to link to both of those in the description. However, every now and then you just need a simple light effect, a simple glow or something like that. And knowing how it works is very, very useful. And knowing a couple of different things that we can do with like blend modes and layers helps to give us more realistic looks. Now, in this shot, I will say, I don't know where the final is. It might have been, the final layered edit. I mean, it might have been lost in a hard drive crash that I had. This was shot in 2019 in Jamaica. This is my final image. And the reason why I want to show it is, apart from letting me give you a demo about glows, like this sunlight behind her, is that this sort of cross lighting here, okay, you can see how it's glowing. That was actually added by me in post. There was a glowing sun behind her, absolutely. A little bit of work to kind of, brighten up some of the shadows here. This was shot natural light in the jungle and it was backlit. So this lighting effect here that's glowing is from the real sun, like I said, but enhanced in post. And I'm going to show you on top of this how I did it and how to get a slightly more realistic lighting effect and how do we tone our lighting effects. Okay, so check it out. Let's say we make a brand new layer. Okay, and I already have some glow brushes here that I've created. As you can see, if I tap, it creates a little glow, right? And that's cool. So I have it on white. The brush is fantastic. In fact, let me show you a counter example. Let's go back to just a straight circle for example. So let's say you come here and you're like, oh, I want to shrink this down and I'm going to create a glow on a new layer, 100% everything, and soft brush, boom, there it is. And we have kind of a hazy puffball, and it's somewhat believable. Don't get me wrong. In some cases, the hazy puffball is exactly what you need because it matches the lighting. In this case, we have more specular, kind of harsh light, more high contrast light. So we should approach it differently. Here is one way to do it. Okay. You got to play around with blend modes. And the way we do that is we have to give the information in layers. We have to give the appropriate information so the blend mode responds appropriately, right? So let me show you what I mean. For example, let's start with a solid color layer. We're going to make it black. Okay. And then we're going to make another layer. And this is going to be where we actually make our flare. So this is our sort of backing that helps the blend mode do backing for math. Okay. And then this is going to be our flare. We can have multiple blank layers. We're going to take both of them, click them both, and group them, Command or Control G. And this is going to be flare. All right. Now we're going to take the flare folder, which contains both of them, and we're going to put it on linear dodge add. Okay. Now it's going to be important in a minute because linear dodge add is one of the 8 blend modes that opacity and fill, these two settings here, respond differently. And that is important. Now, first things first, in this mode, when I take my big glowy puffball and I click, I get a different feel. It's no longer the big puffball. It now has this burning feel, right? Let's turn it off and on and see. Off, on, right? It might be a little strong depending on what you're going for, but as you can see, it emulates the glow, that burning glow on her hairline and on the actual trees. It emulates that burning glow. Now, what's interesting is that if I go back to the flare folder that I created, the group of layers, it's on linear dodge add, allowing me to work with fill. And if I take fill down, that burning feel reduces without just getting more transparent. The burning increases or reduces. See that? Now, this is pretty common for those who do a lot of lighting effects. And like I said, for advanced lighting effects, the plugins like Boris FX Optics and Oniric work supremely well for more advanced things. But for a simple glow like this, I think every retoucher, even a portrait retoucher like myself, should learn how to do this to take a cool lighting effect and make it more intense. Now, let's change it up one more level, shall we? We're going to do one small modification on top of the flare layer. This is just a layer where we're making our white puffballs, right? We're going to add another color, solid color layer. In this case, I'm going to make it this arbitrary sort of blue cyan, okay? And I'm going to change that blend mode to multiply, okay? You can see already what's happening, okay? We're now toning our flare. And if we go back to our group, our, layer group, as we tone down the fill, that green glow gets more and more of a burn feel to it, right? Stronger or less. Now, it's obviously way too strong, but I can make it more of a yellow perhaps, and I can take some of that saturation way down. Maybe more yellow. There you go. And take the saturation way down. And now I have very slight toning. And you can turn that toning on and off, and you can see how it arbitrarily makes a difference. But just to give you an idea, you can tone it any color you want. And instead of just making it a hazy version of the color, it gives that burning glow because of the blend mode, okay? So the layers that we're using, let me just go put in something extreme for demos. There we go. That's super extreme. The layers that we're using, again, allows for the math to work, right? So this is going to be our flare toner, right? And because that's on multiply and the entire group is on linear dodge add, it works. So this backing layer, which I call, backing for math, if you turn that off, the math does something else, which is cool, but it's not what we want. We need that black layer. We try to avoid a full raster layer of black pixels and then painting directly on the black pixels. That's permanent. Permanent is bad, right? We don't want that. We want that flexibility. So we simply need a backing layer of black, a blank layer for actual flare shaped, usually done with just pure white, and then a toner for it if you want it. You definitely do not have to tone. It can just be pure white, but you can use a toner in a subtle manner for a little bit of a pink glow, okay? And now we have a very slight pink feel, but the entire thing, again, is available with fill. Now, of course, if you go, while the setup is running, as it were, you can take another brush anywhere and create more burn glows with the pink feel. There's some pink glow. I don't know, we'll expand this in this direction, another pink glow. Let's pretend we wanted this real strong there. See that? We create these cool glows, and we can always tone those glows any way we want. But again, the layer order is important. This is entirely too strong, but you might have an application in your shot where this kind of strong glow is important. And a lot of times, a simple sun, a light bulb, a candle that you can add a realistic glow or enhance the realistic glow that it already has can take your portrait to that next level of drama. And this is why I think every retoucher, including portrait retouchers, should know a little bit about light glows. See, that's more like it. That's a 30%. Look at the drama I've added there. It looks like a bright, sunny summer day, and I don't have white puff balls that just look like, like I've done a linear increase of brightness or something like that. That's what's cool about understanding the math of how the blend modes work, how they're grouped together, et cetera, et cetera. However, with that said, if you have more advanced needs for light glows and light effects, check out the 2 products in the description. This is not a paid thing. This is just me telling you that they're awesome, but it's a good idea to know how to make a simple sun glow, a simple light bulb glow, or whatever the case may be in a realistic way.